Okay, how did we arrive here?
How do we arrive at here?
Yeah, solving this problem. When was it a problem that you thought?
Look down.
They don't look that big.
They're not that big that I've learned
Yeah.
because I have size 10 and a half.
Okay.
Ever since I normally say ever since I was 11, I've had size 11 feet.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
When you put it that way.
Right, right. And so growing up, I grew up in Scarborough, the youngest of three girls. My parents are Jamaican immigrants.
Yeah.
So like we grew up quite poor. Didn't know I was poor. I had great family, great upbringing, but I'm the youngest. And so in Jamaica, they say I'm the wash belly, right? And so I was the one that was getting the hand-me-downs. But when you're looking for shoes, like my mother had size 12 wide feet. Yeah. One of my sisters size 12 and my other sister size 9.5, right? So shopping for shoes when you're younger, like you're basically getting forced to squeeze your feet at that age into like size 8 and 9 because they didn't make shoes for us. Yeah. Anything over a size 10. And then when you talk about the cute factor, when I started, I was a sprinter. I went away to the States for school. I started embracing my sense of fashion and my life started to expand and I wanted to do things. And so I wanted shoes to match my outfits. And I had to shop in the men's section a lot. I had to squeeze my feet into shoes 2 sizes too small just to get the style that I wanted. And so we ended up here because I was like, I need to try and be a solution to this problem. Like I'm sick and tired of the cross-border shopping because we would go to Buffalo every season or whatever. And I'm like, I need to try and find a solution, not just for me, but for all the people who are above a size 9 who struggle to find shoes to fit the variety of aspects of our life. Like we don't just walk the dog and hike.
Right.
We do more than that. We didn't ask to have feet this size. So 3 years ago, I started Tresolz. And at that time I was like, okay, I have size 10. My struggle is real. I'm going to go size 10, 11, 12. And I only did 10, 11, 12. And then things just took off from there. People were saying, hey, I have size 13, I have size 14, I have size 15. So now we go up to size 16.
Wow.
And we're focused on fashionable footwear, right? Because there are choices for us now, but they are for more kind of casual wear, like walking, hiking, but we wanted fashion forward footwear because we do things just like you. Like we go on dates, we go to dinner, we go to the park, we go to church, we go to the club.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
That makes perfect sense. But when did it become a thought of, this is a business? I'm going to actually tackle this, because that moment is the most scariest moment because you realize there's so much to learn and know as fast as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So I knew this was a business. I've had this idea in my back pocket for a long, long time.
Wow. Okay.
Ever since I realized that I had to start to pay for my own shoes. I'm in my 20s, for example, and I have my budget and I have to work and pay for my own shoes. And I knew that the options were not there. I always thought, what if? But I went, and I'm a teacher, so I went into my career of teaching. Yeah. And then I started my family, got married, started a family. And so that idea has been in my back pocket for a long time. It wasn't until COVID.
Yeah.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really make a lot of sense because during COVID, nobody was wearing shoes. We just had to look good from the waist up, right?
Yeah, but you have a lot of time.
I had time.
Yes.
I was teaching from home. I mean, it was still a lot, but there was no commute. Time opened up for me to be around my computer a lot more and just to start and see if I could try.
Yeah,
go on Google and start searching and seeing, all the groundwork questions that I asked myself. Could I find these answers now that I'm at my computer and forced to be on my computer all day at home anyway?
I love that.
Yeah.
What was it like on Dragon's Den? Do you have highs and lows you can share?
So first of all, I wasn't even going to audition for Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
A friend of mine just said to me, hey, you should try. Like, you have a great story. Because every time I talk about what I do, people are like, that's such a good idea. What? Yeah. I know somebody, but my aunt has big feet. So I just took a chance and auditioned. And I got through, like, the very next day, I got an email saying, you know what? We want you to come in audition. And I went through the rounds and found out that I got on the show, which was great. It was an amazing experience. Like I prep, like I'm a teacher. I'm right brain. Like I'm like, because I didn't really watch Dragon's Den in the past a lot. Yeah. I've known of it obviously, but I binged watched Dragon's Den. Got to know all of the dragons, the do's, the do nots, what questions. And I just planned out all my answers, and I worked with a lot of people to like practice with me. And it was like a good 4 weeks of every single night I would come home from work, and I would just like spend 2 hours standing up in front of a person, even with my students at school, because I'm a high school teacher. I would just put myself out there and just, do you want to hear my pitch? Do you want to hear my pitch? Do you want to hear my pitch? Here's my pitch. Ask me a question. Ask me a question. So I just kept on going.
I love it.
Yeah.
The teacher who studied.
Yeah. And plus I'm an athlete. And so I understand the benefit of practice. Like you have to put in the practice, the repetition over and over and over and over again until like the practice should seem easier than the game, you know? So that's what I did.
And the more you practice, the less nervous you are on the day.
100%.
Like the preparation is the most important part. I find anytime I get nervous, it's because I didn't practice enough.
That's right.
With anything. Performing, 100%. TV, anything. Yeah, I agree.
So I nailed it.
And you nailed it.
I did. I think I honestly can say, like, you can ask them. I think they fell in love with me.
I love it. Were there any setbacks, any takeaways from that? That was just, it felt like, oh, I got to learn this. Maybe this was a mistake. Or was it just smooth the whole time?
No, it wasn't smooth the whole time. I mean, there was questions that I had to answer, and I recognized that it wasn't going to jive well with, you know, what investors are looking for, right?
Right.
The numbers, obviously, could have been better, but I wanted to be transparent and honest as much as I could with what I was putting out there.
Yeah.
And so what I've been learning a lot of is my story and learning about who I am and why I'm really doing this, to fill a gap for all women to feel like women, regardless of their foot size. Yeah. I mean, I don't only have large feet, I'm a taller person too. So it's everything about body image and about, this is just the way we are. Yeah. We should have access to all the things that everybody else does. And that's just not a reality right now.
Yeah.
And so here I am, a 51-year-old entrepreneur, started doing it, making a difference.
I love it. And you know, when you are passionate, when it's a personal endeavor, I find the idea that you have, the business you have, the service that you provide, whatever it may be, your values are so ingrained that the customer can trust you. And I would much rather invest in a person that I trust is passionate about the cause than just a random idea, because the idea can come and go.
Right.
But I know that you can produce a new idea because you're passionate about the cause, and that can look like 20 other things.
Right.
So that's very cool. As a woman, married, 3 boys.
Yep.
The house is all
smells stinky.
And obviously in the business world,
yes.
It's very male dominated.
Yes.
What has that been like for you navigating this space as a woman?
The 3 years, thank God, I ain't too proud to beg. Okay. So I'm a teacher. I am okay asking all the questions of all the people that I think I need to absorb. Yeah. My husband is an entrepreneur for 30 years, and his business, even though he's the CEO, is run by mostly women. So I go to him a lot, and his expertise has really helped me. But I see him as a man valuing women, helping to help his business to thrive. And so that has been pivotal for me in terms of me just feeling that confidence is like, hey, I know what I want. I know what I can do. I am enough. And if I need to go to a man to ask for guidance or support, fine. If I need to go to a woman to ask, I just look at people as aids to help me to get where I need to go. Male or female, it doesn't matter to me. And so far, it's been amazing. Like everyone who has heard my story has been so open to sharing, connecting with me, or just the encouragement. Like even you, it's just been always like, you're doing a great job, and I can see why you're doing this, and you're so passionate about it. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Absolutely. Well, it makes sense.
It just makes sense.
It's like, of course. You know, how's society kills me sometimes.
Thank you.
Just like, what? But there is a whole place for in WNBA for this business model. This makes so much sense to me. And I feel like a lot of those women, especially because you have an athlete background as well.
Yes, I do.
Girl, I
Yes,
see
I
that.
do. I
So that's
do.
the next thing.
That's the next thing.
It was wonderful speaking to you, and
Thank you.
congratulations on
Thank you.
everything you're doing. We're lucky that, you had a really good time at Dragon's
I
Den.
did.
A win is a win is a
A
win.
win is a win is a win, girl.
And we can't wait to see it.
Thank you.